Hey, welcome everybody who's just joining us for the Grow to ED bootcamp. We've had a great discussion for the last half an hour on our FIBIC bootcamp, mostly just takeaways from our leaders weekend at Go Global. And we're going to share some of those things with you that we found that were most impactful for us. But just to start out with, I wanted to share with you guys a couple of things that are really impactful for me, and that was just the simplicity of this business. It's what we do is really important. We're changing people's lives, and this business is so much fun. When it's hard, it's exhausting to be at these events. It drains you mentally, physically. A lot of us came back and it sounds like we're all sick and stuff like that. Too much dancing, too much grinding. If you don't know what that means, ask your business coach that was there. It was funny. Or I think that Amber went Facebook Live about the grinder. So this business is so simple, and I shared this with the FIBIC, so I want to share it with you guys. I very rarely dream, but last night I had this dream, and in this dream, the word fundamental was in quotations, and that was like my dream. There might have been like sparklers around the word or something like that, but then I woke up and I get emails from an organization that sends daily thoughts and stuff. And this was the thought for today. It said, I think most of us intuitively understand how important the fundamentals are. It is just that we sometimes get distracted by so many things that seem more exciting. We're all that way in our lives. We get distracted by a lot of squirrels, a lot of sparkly things that seem more exciting and enticing, but they take us away from actually what works. And some of the things that some of our leaders on the FIBIC Zoom were talking about things, squirrels in their own life, and they're actually going to be spending this next week thinking about what their squirrels are and what they can cut out. How they can trim the fat, so to speak. The new reformulated line of Optavia products that is available today is being called the Essential line, and I love that word because it is all of the essential ingredients, all the essential nutrients that our physical bodies need, and oftentimes we get lost in what is essential for the nutrition of our businesses. We start doing a lot of different things, and I'm not saying that you can't do these things every once in a while, but some of the things that over 8 years of experience that I don't feel move people's businesses forward are a lot of the things that people are like, oh man, I'm so busy. It's just busy work. It's not a process of acquiring or supporting clients or acquiring or supporting coaches. And I'll just be very transparent and direct with you. We do a lot of things to feel like we provide value for people as coaches, but what we're not, and by raise of hands, how many were at Go Global that are on screen? So about half. It was really powerful for me to hear Jeremy Redd, the new VP of Sales and Development, stand up and talk about his experience in doing our program. And he reached out to Dan Valentine to be literally his free health coach. And I talked to Jeremy afterwards and asked him if he was being really honest, and said, because he said, yeah, Dan just called me on the carpet. He's like, well, what are you doing? Like, are you really going to do this program? Or are you just going to like half-a it and just say that you gave it your best shot, right? And Dan asked him some hard questions, and I asked Jeremy, I'm like, is that true? And he's like, dang straight it's true. Dan he did not try to play patty cake with me. He just called me on the carpet and he said, look, you reached out to me to be your health coach. This is what you said you wanted. Is it what you still want? Are you really wanting to be your best physical self as the VP of sales and development for Optavia? And are you wanting to show up to the world that way? And Jeremy was like, yeah, absolutely. What Dan didn't do was Dan didn't send him 500,000 recipes. What Dan didn't do was he didn't give him, oh, hey, let me show you all of the clinical empirical evidence that this program works, right? I was in the workshop for health professionals, and one of the questions that was asked from the audience was, what do you show a doctor when you're presenting the program to them to see if they'll refer or bring the program into their practice? And one of the doctors said, well, doctors are empirical minded. They want statistics and stuff. The other 4 doctors on the panel said, do not show them anything. Don't go dig up statistics. Don't go do anything. Go show them before and after pictures. Show them the real lives that are being changed, because numbers on a page will never show them that. If they don't want it, then they're not ready for Optavia right now, right? We spend so much of our time as leaders answering questions, either Facebook or email or text or whatever, from coaches who are like, what do I send to this person? What do I send to this person? What do I send to this person? And so many of the classes I went to, that question, well, what should I send to this person? The answer, nothing. Don't send them anything. It's about follow-up. You might send them one video, like a free-to-be video or something like that, but you don't need to send them anything. It's about having a conversation about that person. During that HP panel, JC Dornick was on that panel, and somebody asked a question, and JC interrupted the person, and everybody could tell that this person is like, well, how do I get this client, or how do I get this doctor, or how do I get right? And he's like, I know that everybody has put a bad label on the word get, right? And he's like, but I want to redefine the word get for you guys. He's like, what if we went out and got people? Like, hey, dude, you get me. Like, you understand me. Stop thinking of the word get as an acquisition, like during free agency or something like that. Oh, like they just dumped them off onto this team or this team. It's like a trade situation. No, I'm going out and I'm trying my very best to get the person that I'm talking to. So that after that conversation together, they feel like I got them. People, at the very basic needs of humanity, we need to love and to be loved. Another way of saying that is we need to understand and be understood. So that's our job as health coaches, to go out and get people and be gotten. That's the very basic of our practice as health coaches. It's not all of these little ancillary things that make us feel busy or make us feel like we're providing value. Value is created in the relationship, not in the information that we send to them through an email or a newsletter or anything like that. Those things are great. They help people stay connected, but It's what we're doing to create the relationship so that that person knows that we want to make their life better. So I want to open it up to a few of the coaches who are at Go Global to share some of their takeaways, things that that can help us move our businesses forward and help us really get the people that we're creating relationships with. Jessica Golden, I think you're up first.
Okay, well, there is so much information, and the panel that actually got me the most excited was the doctors panel. I want to do that. I want to do some of those things and understand doctors a little bit more, because I had an experience with my personal doctor where he said, no, I don't do that. And I didn't go in correct with all what they suggested was just be bold and know what you were doing. And when I did that, I didn't know what I was doing. So it's important to have some information, you know, under your tool belt to help you. But this is something that actually kind of got me a little bit motivated. This is what I want to do, because we do have the Johns Hopkins heritage. You know, we have 20,000 doctors who've already done this program. And it just is exciting. So that's kind of what I learned. My squirrel for me was that sometimes I focus on too big a picture, and what I need to focus on is right now. I need to focus on today and just take it one step at a time, and also not compare myself to what other people have done and where they're at. My journey is completely different from everybody else's. I left my phone in Georgia. It's in Georgia. That has been really hard for me, but I am learning that, you know, look, I'm still on the Zoom because my husband reminded me. I forgot. I don't have my little reminder calls. So maybe write down some things on a different calendar for your work. That's what I'm learning.
Awesome. Thanks, Jess.
Yeah. I like when Dr. A said, break up with texting, right? Like, because one of the things I love about this business is the relationship. You don't really have any relationship in texting. That doesn't mean you can't text people, and I text people stuff, and you know, you can have funny things go back and forth through texting and chatting, but the value we give our clients and the way to change to really help people is to get them on the phone. And so I'm going to do a better job. I do really good with my clients getting them on the phone, but I'm not super great about helping my coaches on the phone. So that was one thing I thought I need to do a better job of, you know, really setting a time. Like, I think Dan Valentine said he has a time set with Jeremy Red, right? Monday at 11, and that's our standing time. Put that as a rock in your schedule, and I need to go back and do some of that. Put some rocks with some of my coaches in when we have a phone call or a Zoom, but not just a text communication. And the next one I really liked was that you talked about on our favorite one about going and seeing your coach. Like, all I need to do is get in the trenches and help these people. And I have a tendency to like not do a good job of, and I do that with our clients too, making sure they know the basics. We just need to make sure our clients know the basics. So, you know, making sure you just really check in and say, you can't really do that on text. How did today go? Great. But when you get them on the phone, you can say, did you drink your water? Did you eat every 2 to 3 hours? Did you only eat food that's in the Optavia guide? And when they start saying, well, yeah, all except for that popcorn I ate at my kids, whatever. And you go, oh, okay, well, that might, you know, or I had a client who I met in Atlanta. I had made her write a food journal the whole entire time from when I had talked to her till we got there. And I realized she was drinking coffee that had 30 grams of sugar in it. And she was really mad. She said, I really love my coffee. I said, well, do you love your coffee more than you love losing weight? Then that's fine. Like, you can choose. I'm not going to take your coffee away, but what do you want? You know? But if I hadn't had her write that food log down, I don't drink coffee. I didn't know you could have a coffee with 30 grams of sugar in it. You know, like you just really clarifying with them what they're doing and making sure we ask those questions. And if you do it by a text, you're probably missing something. So.
Awesome. Yeah, that when Dr. A was talking about breaking up with text, they've been talking about this for the last couple of years, that 93% of communication is other than words, right? It's tone and body language, right? So how many of you have ever had a disagreement or some mess in your life that started over text or a Facebook message or something like that? Because people couldn't understand, they were implying a tone to what you said, or you were implying a tone making up something in your head what they thought, and that's not what they said or you said at all. Like when you, like, there's some things, of course, like, hey honey, what do we need to get from the store? Milk, eggs, bread. That's okay to text. There's no emotion implied in that. It's factual. But when you're talking about moving people from one place to another in their health, in their life and stuff, have conversations with people. Start communicating with people and having real conversations. I posted a video from Simon Sinek a little while back, a few weeks back, and he was kind of making fun of millennials in the workplace. It's not only millennials. It's everybody. Everybody's going so digital, so much use of technology that we can't even sit down and have a regular conversation with somebody. People don't know how to flirt anymore. They don't even know how to flirt with their spouses anymore, right? They just text each other. So start having real conversations, real communications, real relationships. That's what Dr. A was saying. And you'll see your business, and you'll see your clients move forward. You'll see your business move forward, everything. Who else has something?
We do. I do.
Colors?
And emojis don't make text have emotion, just so you know. But anyway, I got new passion this weekend. That for those of you that weren't there and didn't know, the name of this, our conference was Go Global, and it was Fuel Your Future. And I got new fuel this weekend in our passion about what we're doing for people's lives. And not just physically, you guys, like really doing for people's lives. When America was founded 230 years ago, everyone here they worked for themselves. And now it's like 90% of the people in our country work for someone else. And it's like 75% of those people are really unhappy. I don't know the exact statistics. I'm like Jared right now making things up. But seriously, we can become the CEO of our own lives. We can create whatever we want. We can live a life that we never dreamed, and we can help other people dream again. And I have new passion for that because I have my husband home with me, and we live in a nice house in a nice neighborhood in a very affluent area. And we have created this on our own because we've been able to change lives and help people. And it's not about us. It's about other people being successful. It's about other people taking control of their lives. And honestly, you guys, every time we get a new client or a new coach and we get them, as in understand them, then I'm more happy than I was when we became clients and when we became coaches, because I know the potential there is, and I know the joy, and I know what's there, and that we can really take control of our lives and change this world. There's so many people that are just programmed to the negative, and oh, well, I have to go to my job. I have to do this. I have to do that. And we have something that can really change the world, you guys. I don't think I even understand what's in my hands. I don't think any of us do.
100% agree. Here's a made-up statistic for you. I went to a conference a couple months ago, and these guys, they are associated with a lot of research organizations, and this was a really interesting one. We hear a lot of no's, right? We get really, really soft as adults because we're in charge of our own lives, right? By the time we're 18 years old, they estimate that an average 18-year-old hears no approximately 150,000 times before they're 18 years old, before they graduate from high school. And then so we go out into the world and we're like, ain't nobody gonna tell me no anymore. So they start telling themselves no, right? So we don't allow other people to tell us no, but we just tell ourselves no. and be like, oh, nobody's telling me no anymore. Yeah, you just shut down your life because you told yourself no, because you're going to stop taking no's, right? 90% of they went through sales organizations, and 90% of sales representatives, and they took these from a lot of different sales organizations, not just like auto sales or insurance sales. They went to all kinds of different sales around North America. 90% of sales representatives stopped following up after the third no. 80% of all sales happened after the fifth contact. So that's like that picture of the guy with the pickaxe, and he's digging through, and he's like that far from the diamonds and stuff. People only quit. People always quit in two places: before they get started and right before they succeed. So where are you at right now? Or have the things that you've quit at in your life, have you quit before you actually got started, before you really committed? Or did you perhaps quit right before you were ready to explode with success? So we know that this is a successful program, right? You can have all the clinical studies in the world and stuff, and it's not going to make any difference. What you see with your own two eyes, the transformations of your clients, of yourself and stuff, is proof enough. And if you just keep loving people and keep getting people, then they're going to, at one point or another, they're going to feel gotten enough that they're going to be like, whatever you're doing, just show me the way. I'm so frustrated. I feel alone. I feel depressed and full of anxiety, and I just don't know where I'm going. Who else?
Oops. I actually have something. It was just an announcement letting you know I had a comment to make. So one big thing that I picked up from going to Go Global is something that I've known, but it's something I've slacked on, is asking questions and asking more than just the one question. Whether it be a client or a coach on your team or whatever, ask a question, but follow it up with a question. And I can't remember who it was. Can't remember. Anyway, it was in my notes. I wrote it. But get out your scuba gear. Get out your scuba gear and ask another question and ask another question and dive deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And so all the coaches on our team, I hope they understand that coming back is I'm going to be asking a lot more questions, but also it's because I just want to link arms. I just want to link arms with people, and whether they be clients or coaches, I just want to link arms with people, get in their space, understand them, get them better, right? Get them, like we're talking about, better, and then help them get where they want to be, because that's really what it's about. The most joy that Kat and I get these days is from seeing other people succeed and reach their goals, and we just love that. And I just want more of that. Like it's kind of addicting. And so we're just going to go out there and help a lot more people get a lot more of what they want, because it's the best feeling in the world.
So perfectly said. Actually, I think John and I were talking to each other, and John's really good friend. He's a associate and friend of mine too, but John's really close to him. He came up and asked me in this conversation, he's like, what keeps driving you? He's like, I know that at your point, you make a lot of money, right? He's like, does money continue to drive you? And he's like, because if you're constantly keeping that tension of goals and aspirations and stuff, when you really do arrive at those things, whether it's your goal weight or a money amount or whatever, what keeps driving you? And I said, those things will never perpetually drive you. They never will. But what will always perpetually drive you is relationships to other people. And I am 100% being honest with you that, yeah, it sucked being bankrupt 8 years ago. We never slept. We were depressed. We were full of anxiety and stress and everything like that. And when we got to a point where that was no longer stress and we were debt free and and we're just rolling in money, and we were paying more in taxes every year than we had made ever in a year before. When you get to that point, it's like, what more is there? Do I make another 10 or 20 or 50 or $100,000 a month? Is that my next goal? No, it's not your next goal. And you know what's way more exciting than that? Is creating that for somebody else. Finding someone else who wants those things, who wants to make 10, 20, 30, $50,000 a month, and helping them do it. Because they're really passionate about health. They're really passionate about people. They're really passionate about growth. I shared these two things from stage in our talk Thursday night, that highly successful people are highly tolerant of two things. They're highly tolerant of the pain and discomfort of personal development. And a lot of times that is asking for feedback from business coaches or mentorship or whatever, whoever those trusted people are in your life. What are my blind spots? And also revealing to your mentorship what is your facade. Your facade is things that you know about you, but other people don't know about you. And your blind spots are the opposite, what other people know about you, but you don't know about yourself. So it's eliminating as many blind spots as possible and giving up as much of the facade as possible. So the first thing, highly tolerant of the pain and discomfort of personal development. And the second thing is they're highly tolerant of failure. They don't look at failures like daily failures, like, oh, that was really a pooper, right? They don't look at that as failure. They just like, oh, that didn't work, right? What did they say about Edison and the light bulb? Edison said, I learned 1,000 ways not to build a light bulb. Right? Go out and find 1,000 ways to not get people, right? We get so many questions every single day. What should I say to this person? I don't know all the time. I know what I would say in a situation that I'm kind of drawing back from memory from a similar situation, but I don't know what I would say in your situation. Dan Valentine shared this. He said, people ask me like, oh, you want to get on this Zoom with me? Do the celebration call. And he's terrified. He's like, I don't know what to say, right? You should feel that anxiety going into those calls. Like, what am I going to say? Because it's about exploration. It's about finding out what your common values are, what's really, really important to this person, so that you can give them feedback, so you can give them your very best for them, not for the last person that had a similar situation, right? A lot of what we do as coaches, we call it your coaching practice, just like doctors are in practice, right? They say they're in practice because they don't know what the heck they're doing. Luckily, we just are in the same business where our form of practice is just giving them drugs. We're practicing with that person by, hey, I'm going to practice caring about you more, practice asking more questions. The greatest questions come from just listening and being inquisitive, like John said, putting on your scuba gear and going deeper and deeper and deeper. Like I've heard before that when you're just even asking someone what their why is, 5 to 7 times, asking again, well, why do you want that? Why do you want that? Why do you want that? You don't have to ask even a bunch of other questions. 5 to 7 times, you'll get to that person's actual real why. What I've found in 8 years is most people's deepest why is they want to be happy. And they think that these things along that descent in your scuba gear, they think that all those things are going to get them happiness. But you know what gets people happiness is what many of you have already said. It's being in the now, enjoying the journey, knowing that it is a journey, that we're going to screw things up along the way, that we're going to have ebbs and flows, and there's going to be hard times and fantastic times, and that we're just all in this together. Because what doesn't matter, Dr. Anderson talks about this in his identity book, that it doesn't matter. Our success has nothing to do with how we feel about ourselves, our identity, our personal identity. But what does happen, what does matter is who we identify with, our closest sphere of influence. Our identity, our social identity is very, very important. And I think that that's what we want moving forward. We want to have this social identity with all of you, that all of us are moving forward together, because it's like a group of fish. Like, people don't really see one fish swimming through the ocean and stuff. Anybody who's ever been scuba diving or snorkeling or whatever, you don't really see, it's hard to see individual fish unless it's like a shark, right? But you see these massive groups of fish, and they're miraculous. Just like birds that are murmuring. Murmuring is like when they're all flying, sparrows or swallows or whatever, all flying together. It's like this really cool looking thing. Because it's not just one, people don't really pay attention to one bird or one fish, but they pay attention to groups that are moving, and they're all kind of doing their own thing. They're all individuals, but together they look beautiful and they act beautiful because they're in flow with each other. So any last minute thoughts?
Jared, can I say something super quick? I don't want to take too much time. Kat and I were on the plane home yesterday, and I was kind of talking, sharing with her some of my fears and things like that. And then we were looking at some of the pictures of just these big teams. You know, we looked at the Smithson team. We looked at the, some of the Miller teams. We looked at, the Tinter team, and just saw these people and just thought, man, how awesome is that going to be when our team's that big? And I just got thinking, I was like, okay, how many friends do I have on Facebook? And what if I contacted 1,000 of those people? And what if 95% of those people told me, not right now, I'm not ready? That's still a lot of people that it might not be them, but it might be someone in their circle that needs my help or wants my help. You guys, all of you have so many people that you know, so many people in your sphere. Just talk to all of them. They're not telling you no personally. They're saying, no, I'm not ready. It might be someone that you know that's going to join you. It might be somebody that they know that's going to join you. But I can promise you, if you listen to the things that Jared's been talking about, that other people have said, and you just talk to more people, that one day, you'll have this awesome, amazing group of people that you're working together with to get America healthy. So that's all.
Thanks, John. So my challenge for you guys, an assignment for you guys this week, is to send to your business coach, whether your sponsor or the business coach that you're working with personally, how many people, your goal of how many people you're going to go out and get this week. Have conversations where you are understanding them and that they feel understood. Start creating these relationships, and you can certainly have the intent of, yeah, I want this person to be my client, or I want them to be a coach on my team. Those things all go with that. But how many people are you going to go out and have conversations with the intent to get them to understand who they are, what they want, and these things. And then stick to the fundamentals. Have fun with what you're doing. Show people who you are, what you're about. People are attracted to people who have smiles on their faces, who are having fun. If you're struggling in that area, reach out to your business coach. Let's help you with the things that are going to ways that you're going to have more fun, that you're going to appear to the world, that what you're doing is exciting and fulfilling to you. And let's start really growing together. And also, one other challenge for you guys is I want you guys to contact the coaches on your team clients, whoever you want at convention with you. Start having those conversations this week with the people you want at convention. Set a goal. So how many people are you going to get this week, and how many people you're going to talk to this week about attending convention with you? And let's start getting those registrations rolling in and stuff, so that people aren't waiting to the last minute when it creates more anxiety and stuff. Start setting them up now so they have lots of time to be able to check their schedules and make it work out and stuff. Let's get as many people there as possible, because we know how powerful these events are. And like Chantel said earlier, you come away with this event hangover. We want way more hangovers, right? Because people are having fun and being inspired together. So have a great week. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the Tuesday 20 with Sarah Flake is leading us with one of the 15 principles, and we'll talk about a few things that we'll roll out probably more next week on the Rank Up call. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, and have a great week.